Eu quero já cantei bará, já cantei berê, já cantei o tchá-tchá, pra você fiz lelê.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
That was like a 3-second intro, man.
That's a great intro. It's not, your 1 minute countdown intro that lasts forever and no one knows when it's actually going to start. Anyway, welcome back to the BaldyPal show tonight. We're changing it up a little bit, and we're going to do some ranting and raving about some of our favorite topics of reselling. But tonight, I've got my guests, Philly Flipper, right there, and Wyatt Rewilded Reselling. How are y'all doing tonight, guys?
Doing absolutely
good.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. What's the weather like in Philly? Is it cold yet?
Nah.
Whenever I think about Philadelphia, I always think about snow, but
Let me see.
I know it's not always snowing, but I'm never in Philadelphia.
It's 62 right now.
That's pretty good. Nope. Why? What's it like in South Carolina?
Well, we hit a good little patch of like cooler weather last week, finally.
Yeah.
But it kind of heated up today again, but like 80s.
Yeah. I like that. That's perfect weather. You could go golfing in that weather and have no problem whatsoever.
Ryan, how much you want for that hat, man? That's a nice looking hat.
Man,
that is a crisp.
That is.
And then I got the same one, but it's purple.
Ooh.
I don't know. These are I love hats, but there's some that I don't think I can get rid of, and this is one of them.
Yeah, that one's a keeper for sure.
That's a keeper. You're not gonna if you were to list it, what would you list it at? Right now, what's your number? What's your comp?
Like 40 or 45.
Nice. We got some awesome people showing up already. We got Ken, SSK Promo, also known as La Luchador. We got Joey Bada Bing is in the house. I'm sorry, I just have to say it like a wrestler right there. Kayla, what's up? Kayla, thanks for showing up. We do appreciate you out here supporting my friends Paul and Wyatt and everybody. I gotta tell you,
Kayla's just here from me. Let's get that out of the way.
Let's see. Is that true? Let's see if she leaves now. No, she's still here. So
I don't know. I think she just dipped.
Well, their links are in the description below, guys. I know you have seen these guys before. Go click their links, give them some likes, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure YouTube didn't unsubscribe you for whatever reason that they do sometimes, and just give them some love. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Facebook Marketplace, and the reason why is because everybody, I think, has a love-hate relationship with different selling platforms, but we're going to start with Facebook Marketplace because I have gone through a bunch of hate with Facebook Marketplace personally in the most recent months. And I invited Philly because he's the one that keeps telling me that I just have to expand to do a business and stuff like that on Facebook. And then I brought Wyatt in because he's the one who actually got me started on Facebook back in January when we talked. And he told me all about the money you can make while reselling shoes on Facebook. It's like it was an untapped market as far as I was concerned on my resume. So the debate is, let's just start with your initial thoughts on Facebook Marketplace as a reselling platform. Wyatt, let's start with you. 1 minute. How do you feel about Facebook Marketplace from a reselling platform perspective?
So with Facebook, I would say, and I'm obviously going to compare it to other platforms. And specifically, let's just say eBay, because I think most people watching this probably sell on eBay. But Facebook is, I think, very beginner friendly. Like if you scroll through Facebook right now in the marketplace, the pictures are going to be horrible for most people listing. They're not. A lot of people aren't sellers. So I remember hearing this early on is like if your pictures are just good, like eBay quality pictures, you're automatically going to stand out. So I just think it's a really reseller friendly platform right now because it's growing so fast, and it's like it doesn't really require much to just have your listings look better than your competitors. And then I think there's just so many people are already on Facebook that it's so easy for them to pop over as buyers and just start looking at marketplace. I just think that it's really like it's picking up steam, and it has been for like the last 6 months. So,
okay, good deal. You're pro Facebook. Okay, we know where you stand. And by the way, I just wanted to point out here, Paul, Adam is my homie. See, she said it right there. All right, Paul, what is your stance on Facebook Marketplace? 1 minute.
Everything
Go.
he said is a lie. I don't.
You start the bashing now.
Could I? Let me get my best Skip Bayless impersonation. No. I feel like Facebook, best word to describe it would be right now is like a work in progress. It's something that is out there, and if it wants to compete with the big guys, I think it has the ability to.
Right.
Facebook has like an insane algorithm, and you can just like think of something, and it's going to show up in your feed. Like for some reason, I was thinking of Nature Valley bars, and I was scrolling through Facebook, and Nature Valley bars were showing up in my feed. So if it can do that with that, why can't it do it with your products? Why can't someone be thinking of like a Sony Walkman, and then my Walkman that I have on my Facebook store appear in their feed of like, oh wow, look, I need this right now. And like I agree with what I said about the photos. Anytime I use Photo Room on Facebook, a lot of times those pictures get a lot more clicks than the other ones, because compared to, like I say, I'm selling like shoes, and mine have Photo Room in the back. It's a good quality picture of a shoe, and everybody else is just like pictures of like the shoe like in their welcome mat or whatever. Mine get a lot more attention than theirs do. And I feel like right now the promotion they're doing with the business page where it's free shipping and no fees, if you're not taking advantage of that, I think you definitely should.
Okay. So you are definitely pro Facebook Marketplace and selling platform too. Okay. So
I'm not getting paid to say that, by the way.
No, you shouldn't be. Not by Facebook. You'd be like $1. That'd be it. So Jules has a good question here. I want to say hello to a bunch of new folks who are showing up. I really appreciate y'all. We got Rewilded Wife is up in here. We got Tommy. Who did I miss? We got Carissa with Chosen Goods Reseller and Amber Resell. Sorry about that, Amber. Oh, man, so many great people up in here. Mrs. Flips, I appreciate each and every single one of you clicking the link and showing up tonight. Jules asks, does Facebook Marketplace selling depend on where you live, or are most shipped sales? Obviously, I'm a newbie and I don't use it. And see, that's what we wanted, Jules, is those types of questions. I appreciate that. So, Paul, take that.
So I think the original marketplace platform was all like Craigslist, like a Let Go, like an offer up where you meet up with somebody and you sell them the item in person. And I've been using that platform for about 4 or 5 years now with selling furniture, large electronics, things that I don't want to ship. So a lot of people, when they think of Facebook Marketplace, they still associate it with that, with meeting up with a person at a safe location and exchanging your goods for whatever. But right now, where shipping is added on, it's a completely different thing. And you still get messages. Well, like if I'm selling golf clubs, people say, "Hey, where are you located?" And so some people still associate that with that like face-to-face interaction. But you can always use that to say, "Hey, I'm in the Philadelphia area, but right now, Pivot is doing this promotion where I can ship it to you for free." And you always gotta kind of add that shipping on top kind of method to every single person that is introduced to it. But I believe, to answer her question, I believe everywhere shipping is added. Maybe in some rural areas you can ship, but from what I think everyone in the United States you can ship with Facebook.
Okay, you touched on my personal question with that last statement. I haven't seen anything outside the U.S.
Yes.
So it's probably she asked she asked where do you live and ship sales. Yes, it's mostly ship sales, but not all of it. And it's U.S. from what I can tell.
I spoke to a guy from Canada who has a big eBay store, and he says Facebook Marketplace for them is just local, in person. They can't ship anywhere in Canada yet either. So it's just a USA platform, I think, right now.
All right. In your statement, you made a comment that reminded me of a question, and why I want you to be first to speak on this. How do you feel about Facebook's default comments or whenever they suggest to start a messaging conversation? Is this available? What is up with that? I mean, come on. That's got to be the first point of contention you've got with Facebook, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, you're exactly right. I think that's where Paul was alluding to, they're up and coming, but there's so many things they've got to make more clear. And so it's confusing for buyers, I think, because, well, the problem is you go to a platform like eBay, you have thousands of sellers, like people who are like priding themselves on the fact that they can sell, they can ship, and they know what they're doing. On
Right.
Facebook, it kind of opened it up to like any Joe Schmo off the street has like a pair of shoes laying around. And they just snap a couple pictures and list it, but then they don't follow through with it. So it's like you reach out to them. I've done this as a buyer, like reached out, hey, I'm really interested, and you hear nothing back. And so it's like, I think it opened the door up to like a lot of just people who don't know how to ship anything. And they'll go, I know this for a fact because I'll see people list golf clubs, and then the shipping rate will be the prepaid like $9 label. And I'm like,
like $375. Yeah, it's $375 to ship a pair of.
I'm like, if you can ship a full set of golf clubs for $9, then you need to tell me your secrets. But no, I think that's really what it is. It's like it opened up to like a lot of people just to list whatever they want on there. And so, yeah, the whole messaging thing is annoying because people just click this button. Is this still available? I'm like, obviously it's still available.
Exactly. Obviously it's still available. It's there to be sold.
To be fair, not on my end. Sometimes I forget to list.
Have people say like, "Oh, I didn't mean to send that," because it's a button. So they go in and accidentally click it, and it's like,
and it sends it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, Carissa's got a question here. Does Marketplace take care of out-of-state taxes like eBay? I believe that they do.
I believe, when you look at your statement, it will say item cost, shipping cost, tax cost. So,
yes. And that's why I believe they take care of it just like eBay does.
Yeah.
If anybody in the chat knows differently on that, please let us know and send us a link that will clarify that for us. All right.
Can I play a little devil's advocate with the messaging thing?
Go for it.
Because I think Facebook messaging is one of the best messaging things you can have. Like, it's a lot easier to interact on Facebook Messenger than like on eBay to messages, or to like Poshmark. It doesn't even have messages yet, or like Mercari for like. Can you send a picture of messages on Mercari? I don't think you can.
No.
Right? Yeah. So like for example, like I'm selling a pink set right now, and then people say, "Hey, can you take a picture of this?" And click a button on Facebook Messages, I can take a picture of exactly what they want.
Right.
With eBay, it would take me 2 or 3 steps. Poshmark, they wouldn't be even available. Mercari, wouldn't be available. So like Facebook already has a really good infrastructure when it comes to interaction and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can use that properly with the marketplace, it's good. But there is a lot of those, hey, is this available? You say yes, and then that's it. You don't hear from them again. I saw like a meme about this, like somebody like driving up to somebody, like, hey, is this car available? You say yes, and then they just drive off. That's like Facebook a lot of the times.
Yeah, I saw that meme too, or video or something like that. That was hysterical. That's hysterical. Flippy says, to be fair, I've forgotten to mark a local sale as sold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If we get lost in all of our cross listing and we forget to pull something down off of Marketplace, the is this still available question is valid. Okay, good point. Fair point. My next point of contention that I'll bring up, and Paul, you can talk about this first, is I'll go on record and state that a lot of the things I bring up tonight are reasons why I think that Facebook has a long way to go before they even think about possibly taking over eBay's market space. Okay. So this one also being them allowing a person to list something for $1 and then putting a description of a price in the bottom, or the price in the description or something like that. Paul, what do you think about that?
I first of all, with your first statement of saying they have a long way to go, just the fact that we are agreeing that Facebook has the potential to overtake eBay, I think that itself is huge. That statement by itself is huge, because like a year ago, I don't think you would say anybody had the potential to overtake eBay at any time, anywhere. But right now, I could say Facebook has the potential to do it. I agree with you; they have a long way to go, but they have the potential to do it. On that point, Facebook started as a local meet-to-meet marketplace, and like if I was doing like a local meet-to-meet sale, I can say, hey, $1, and then say, hey, I'm selling these video games. Here's the prices for all of these games. Mm-hmm. And that would work if it was like a local meet-to-meet, hey, come buy this game for this much, this game for this much. But then since it became shipping, that whole thing goes out the window. So the question is, like, how do you make separate marketplaces then, just for local and for shipping?
You change the order of which you set up the listing. You make them choose local or shipping first, or local plus shipping, and then you have like a different user path or user flow based on what they choose.
Yeah, because
so keep going. Sorry,
because there's people that have success that way. That hey, I have 50 games I want to get rid of, and I have a different price for every single game, and I just want to do local. I can just say, hey, video games $1, and then say, hey, this game is for selling for this much, and meet me here, and we'll pick whatever game you want. And
all right,
that
I think that's a stretch even for local, personally, but for shipping, it's absolutely. I'm gonna play devil's advocate and say that you have to make separate listings. If you've got 15 games and you were looking to try to ship all of them individual sales, you have to make 15 individual listings.
For shipping, yes. I've done, like, for example, I sold 5 nightstands at the same time locally. I took a picture of 5 nightstands. I said, hey, local 5 nightstands, and I had a different price on every single nightstand, and I made one post. And
it was local though, you said, right?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to ship a nightstand, Adam. Come on.
Hey, shoot, you got a lot of stuff in your warehouse, man. So Jules asked,
people would like respond like, "Hey, I want nightstand C." I'm like, "Okay, come meet me here. You'll have nightstand C." You know, that's what I'm saying.
And you can't tell me you've never had somebody ask you if you would be willing to ship something that you had listed local, right?
For nightstands, no.
Anything. All right, Jules asked, so when an item sells, is it automatically removed from the marketplace, or do I have to? When it sells on marketplace, it automatically pulls from availability. But it's up to you to remove it if it sells on another platform. You've cross-listed it. However, I'll turn to Wyatt because I know you use List Perfectly, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about how maybe an app like List Perfectly would handle a situation like that?
Yeah. So, first thing, Jules, if you're selling something with the shipping option and a buyer buys it and you ship it, it automatically will say it's sold. If it's a local pickup, it won't. You'll have to go in and you'll have to say like sold, and then it's going to say, it's going to go find your conversations about that item and be like, did you sell it to, Joe Smith? And then you're like, yeah, and then it'll have you rate them. So that's kind of interesting. But if it's a shipping sale, like you sold it to someone, you had to ship it, it'll automatically mark it as sold. But what Adam is saying, like with other platforms, then no. With List Perfectly specifically, really all I use List Perfectly for is cross listing. But when it comes to deleting an item after it sells off of a different platform, I have to go manually do that.
Still up to you to do that.
Yeah, and even the like cross listing part is pretty manual, but it just helps me get the pictures and the description and stuff over like as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Paul, I know you use Hammock, but I don't think Hammock would have anything to do with that either, right?
They have like a delist option, but I have never tried it. But Tommy Bernard's in the chat, and he uses Shopify, and he says Shopify has some kind of program that once it sells on eBay, that same item will delist in 10 minutes on any other platform that you have automatically. Some kind of computer monitorized thing. So now I know Shopify does it. But to answer her question as well, I have a personal and a business page. So when an item sells on my personal page, I have to go to my business page and delist it from there. Or if an item sells on my business page, I have to go to my personal page and delist it from there.
So even though they're both on Facebook, they're treated as two individual sales pages?
Yeah. Well, Facebook gives you an option to migrate your listings from personal to business or to duplicate. Okay. So I choose duplicate because I get sales every day on my personal and my business. So I just get like 2 marketplaces for the price I want.
But you've got 2 stores you have to monitor.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So what's Tommy's saying down in here? I've had 3 problems fixed in a week by reporting. If we don't report, they won't fix it.
That's to your video game post or to Kayla's yard sale post. If you guys see that what they're doing doesn't have shipping, just report it to Facebook and they're gonna take it down. Like for example, like Kayla said, like her biggest problem is when she's looking for like a yard sale locally. Right. They'll give you a yard sale in Kentucky for me or like in California because it has shipping attached to it.
Okay, so just tonight before I came on the show, I don't know when this update took place. Tell me, first off, who's on iPhone, who's on Android between the two of you?
iPhone.
Okay, so I'm on Android, so we don't have anybody else to compare it to on here.
Why? Let's start our own show. We're not
I'm
show
on
someone has an
Android, and I
Android.
just now I noticed it has a local only tab
Yeah.
across the middle. So
Yeah.
that's been on iPhone for a while then?
Yeah.
We just got that.
Yeah.
iPhone's the testing ground for applications, by the way, guys, if you didn't know that.
And I can speak to this too real quick is like Facebook is I'll do my cons with Facebook for just a sec is like it is so glitchy that I go filter everything when I'm going and looking as a buyer. I always filter it to local only.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Like I still see listings pop up that say shipping and it's not anywhere close to me. So it's like it works, but it doesn't work. And
I got you.
Frustrating. So
I've got a problem right now that I can't get past the delivery page. I have to save everything as a draft on the app and then go to the computer to finish.
I have the same problem
the listing.
right now. I have the same.
You have it right now?
Yeah.
I had that problem last month.
Yeah.
It's good now for me. Right?
Yeah, I have it right now, but my wife doesn't. And
see, that's
Everybody's agreeing with Kayla in the yard sale thing. And I think that local only tab in the middle for me will speed things up. I used to have to go to 3 clicks to find local only stuff, categories, something else, and then local.
To be fair, I don't really use Facebook for yard sale searches. So, like, I understand that that's a problem, but I have plenty with them Treasure Map and Craigslist to fill my whole day up.
So we could jump in conversation a little bit there, but the Treasure Map app is based on your area and how it's being used. I can show you my Treasure Map right now, and there's nothing on it.
Mine too.
So,
or it'll be like 3 weeks old, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. Next topic. How about expiration dates for things that have expiration dates?
Yeah.
For yard sales, potentially.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, man alive. Does that bother everybody? I hope it bothers everybody. You go looking for yard sales, and one from 4 months ago is still coming up in your search results, right? That's ridiculous. Jules asks, can I only make a business Facebook account? Paul, can you answer that one? I don't know that you can.
I don't even know. I don't think so.
I think you have to have a personal first and then create a.
For me, I didn't, but I think Tommy just made a business when I was talking to him. So it's maybe possible, but I did personal first, then business, and then I sent it there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can answer that too. So maybe some of you in the chat can help me with this,
this is my treasure map on Saturday, by the way.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is nuts, dude.
Mine looks
that's why I don't
That looks like a Christmas tree. Mine looks like one lightning bug.
That's great. But so since I started with Facebook Marketplace, which now is almost a year ago, as far as shipping option, I do everything through my wife's Facebook account because I don't have the shipping option on mine. And I've tried like dozens of times. I've tried to put. That's funny. That's what mine looks like.
Like that's zoomed out.
That is hilarious.
Like that's not just my city. That's all the 4 cities around me.
The whole state of Georgia. Right?
That's great. But I've tried to get the shipping option through my Facebook. So to answer your question, like you can't do that because if you create a new like Facebook account for your thing, it won't let you because new accounts can't just get the shipping option right away.
I got you.
Sometimes old accounts can't either. I mean, I've had Facebook since like
and nobody knows how to get shipping options to it because everyone's like, oh, you need like this amount of feedback or it's just all theories that people put out.
It's
and
crazy.
Like, so people say, hey, how do I get shipping out? I just tell them I have no clue.
Yeah,
like it was just given to me, so I can't. I wish there were like this is another thing like where I say it's a work in progress where these kind of options should be very just easy. Like say, hey, once you do this, this, and this, you get shipping options. You know, it'd be really easy for Facebook to tell everybody that.
Right, I'm with you.
But it doesn't.
I think that's a great idea. You make certain selections in the beginning, and then you get the option to ship if it meets those qualifications. That's a great way of handling that one.
Because then again, you don't want every Joe Schmo shipping as well. Because you don't want everybody that just starts off selling and then do the same thing as Wyatt said about the golf clubs and have them all return because they don't know how to ship properly. So you obviously want to have to meet some kind of criteria before they start allowing shipping options, which is be great for us to know what that is.
I know y'all have never had any issues with shipping on Facebook, but do you know how Facebook or I guess the post office handles those situations? For
I
instance,
do,
the golf
because
clubs and they chose
I
first
made a
class shipping.
mistake. I put a first class sticker on a priority mail, like 8x8x8 box, trying to sneak it through because it was a
Okay.
hat, and I got a return today, so I had to put it in a regular box.
So it came
Yeah.
back to you.
It came back
in
to
that
me,
case.
Yeah, return
Okay.
to- yeah.
I have to
I
assume
just reprinted the label and put it on a regular box and shipped it out, and so it's going to be fine.
Man,
But
come on.
what would stop me going back to the conversation about somebody listing something for $1, right? And for shipping too, for instance. What would stop me from just buying that item? Anything?
I would do it right now.
What's the
Try it right now.
drawback of doing it? What's the drawback of doing it?
What do you mean?
It would be canceled. What would I get? Would I lose Facebook privileges? Like, what would?
Well, according to you, didn't
Walk
you
me
say
through that.
you already tried it and they like knocked you out of Facebook for trying it?
I can't prove it. I honestly can't prove that that's what happened. So my assumption is that I proved to a gentleman I was trying to help.
Shut up, Kayla.
What Kayla say?
Can't believe you told that story out loud. That I tried to lie to the USPS. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Hey, it happens.
it's recorded now. So I'm gonna go back and play it for them locally, and maybe they'll get you. They are the government anyway. But the guy, he wouldn't believe me when I told him that the way he listed it, I could just buy it straight up for $1 plus $9 in shipping, and he wouldn't believe me. So I said, "Look," and I put it in my cart. All I did was put it in my cart, and I showed him, "Look, I can buy it," and then I actually bought it. And of course, it was canceled. But what I assume is he reported me, and then I was kicked off of Facebook Marketplace for over 24 hours.
Hey, we can't assume anything here.
Man,
Let's be like an eBay representative and say we can't assume what the buyer's doing.
Okay.
And
So let's jump off that horse for just a second. Let's be
can you highlight Tracy's comment real quick?
First, I want to say hey to Victoria and Tracy. Thank you both for showing up tonight. Is this it? There's one step button on List Perfectly to request shipping.
Well, that could be an answer because I don't use LP, so I don't know. But apparently, there's a button you can press that gets you shipping on Facebook to List Perfectly. So people want to try that.
That's interesting.
And then Tommy also said higher on that he lists directly to business through List Perfectly, so he doesn't have a personal account, but through LP he lists right to the business platform. The
business platform would list perfectly.
So apparently, there's a lot of things that open up to you when you use LP with Facebook.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, because I haven't explored the List Perfectly website much. I just use the extension. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely underutilize it.
Okay. Chris, hey, thanks for joining us, Cajun Reseller. I appreciate you showing up. I almost missed you there, my friend. He says, be careful, Paul. You're going to lose your local pickup privileges. Yep. Let me talk about this for just a second as far as the Facebook is concerned. How do you feel about, and this is probably going to open a really bad politically incorrect can of worms, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Etiquette on Facebook. Let's start with the story, and then you guys can tell me if you've had similar situations. This lady, I reached out to her because she was selling a GameCube and lots of games for only $30. And so I'm sure I was one of a million messages that she was getting because of the great find from a sourcing perspective on Facebook Marketplace. When she finally messaged me back, she stated stuff like, I've had so many messages. Do you have cash? Are you willing to come meet me? Stuff like that. Apparently, lots of people felt as though they could take that anonymous opportunity to just bash this helpless lady who was trying to clean out her garage because she wasn't replying to their messages quick enough. Yeah. And stuff like that. And she was telling me how, I mean, I know some people may be a little too not insensitive, but too sensitive to it if they're not used to I guess, nature and people. But they put her to tears, basically, right? Oh, that's the world we live in, is it not? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, especially on the internet. Anonymity will get you in trouble a lot of times. But have y'all ran into any situations you could talk about where you felt like people are just lost complete etiquette and they're taking the Facebook platform like taking advantage of the fact of the anonymity on the internet?
Yeah, but
Tell us a story.
It comes well. The one comes to mind recently was that I was selling like a desk for like a room for like a kid's desk, and I had a bunch of interest in it. So when someone messages me, like, "Is this available?" I say yes, but I don't do holds. First come, first serve. Blah blah blah. And that was always my message. Oh, it wasn't a desk. It was a giant teddy bear. It was a 6 foot tall giant teddy bear. That's what I was selling. And like, so I get a bunch of requests, a bunch of messages. Somebody comes, picks it up, and pays for it, and I say, okay, it's sold. Then some lady messages me, like, hey, you said this was available. I was like, yeah, but then I also told you I don't do holds. First come, first serve. Somebody came, picked it up. She's like, this was going to my sick child who's like terminally ill, and I hope you know this, and then I hope this helps you sleep at night. Now she doesn't have a bear to sleep with. Like that was her message to me. Woo! So I was like, okay. So all I do is I just block and then just move on. That's always my thing. But
yeah,
it could have been going. It could have been going to her child. I don't know, but it's just like you get those people, like if they don't get what they want, first response is always like anger and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It just dealing with the internet. People who have bigger YouTube channels have those comments every single day. Yeah. so it just something.
Why have you experienced anything like that?
I can't think of like a particular story. I mean, I've been selling Facebook, for I guess over a year now. So it's like I've had a lot of stuff. I can't think of something specifically, but I was gonna say that I just speaking to that lady, like that kind of sucks for her what happened, but like that's what I'm saying. With Facebook compared to you can if you never sold a thing in your life, you can list something on eBay, and it's like there's no responsibility. You're just waiting for someone to buy it. You're probably never gonna have someone message you about it. I mean, it could happen, but probably not. But with Facebook, there's kind of like responsibility that comes with it because it's a social media platform. So as soon as you list something, you're just like asking for people to message you. So if you don't have any customer service experience and you don't like people, it's probably the worst app for you because you have to talk to people. Mm-hmm. Like you're going to have to respond to just about everything you sell. There's going to be some form of communication. So that's what I'm talking about Facebook is it's kind of just opened the floodgates open to like anybody. And so it's easy to sell something, but it's also like, if you don't like people, it's not going to be very fun.
You need to be careful because this is full of people around the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me say hey to a few new faces up in here. We got Bearded Thrift Machine. Thanks for showing up, Julian. Appreciate it. NC Picker, what's up? Thanks for showing up, my friend. I appreciate you. And Heidi, jumped on me. Heidi's up in here. Thanks for showing up, Heidi. I have to agree with you. Social media in general, whether you're talking about a marketplace or not, it's open. Like people are just rude. Yeah. Like it's the internet. You're going to hide behind a screen name and an avatar and say whatever you want to. Oh, yeah. And I probably am one of those who has a thicker skin anyway, but I'll get into a really nice back and forth with anybody until I'm ready to just block you because I feel like I said the last word and I'm done. But that's just me, right? I have had people call me names, curse at me because I wouldn't accept their low ball offers. I've had when somebody wanted to offer me $20, or I was asking like $150 for a pair of Jordans that was selling on eBay for $200, and they felt the privilege to just message me to say that thing ain't worth that much crap. Good luck. And that's it. That's all they said. They didn't want it. They didn't have any questions about it. They just felt the need to reach out and be rude. So that's an automatic block list as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's 2 clicks to block somebody. So it's very easy.
Absolutely.
Block them. My Facebook block list is up there. Because anytime like I do like a local pickup and they don't show up, they get blocked. Anytime like someone's rude to me, they get blocked. So my Facebook block list is up there.
NC Picker, I don't have time to interface that much. That's why I stick to eBay. Yeah.
People on eBay can be just as rude in your messages, man.
They can have a lot of back and forths on eBay. Let me ask you this. Let's turn to sourcing on Facebook for just a second. Let's stop reselling and let's talk about sourcing. just take a stance on that. Do you feel that you get good products sourcing on Facebook Marketplace? Paul first.
Yes, and then with the like alert system that you can just type in keywords and get alerted when that listing goes up, I think that's a game changer as well. Like I have alerts for like video games, action figures, WWE action figures, Breville, coffee makers, Olympus cameras. So whenever somebody posts that locally to me, I get notified and I can take advantage of it. 'Cause a lot of times people who list that stuff, they don't have no clue what it's worth, and it's a pretty good sourcing opportunity. Not to mention just like the big lots, like somebody just wants to sell off their whole collection, and you can get it for a decent price. But then the problem is that I'm not the only reseller in my area, so everybody else has the same kind of notification set on. So if you're not the first one there, like Matt Picker says, well, for example, what I sold over the weekend, those LOL surprise dolls that I got $5.85 for, that was a Facebook sourcing thing, and they were free. So
wow,
I can say it's definitely good.
I think that eBay has alerts too. White is always stealing my local deals.
Hey, me and Evan.
What is that like? Just one time? Come on, Flippy. It's just once.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't even know.
Evan, all I hear is excuses. Evan, that's all I hear.
It happens so often. He doesn't even know.
Okay, so Wyatt, sourcing on Facebook Marketplace, yes or no?
Yeah. I mean, same thing what he's saying. You can turn on those alerts, and so like I do that for golf clubs and really golf clubs, gaming consoles, that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, I mean, it's great because people, like you're saying, people don't know what it's worth. And you know, you can haggle a little bit. Like if something, you know, if somebody has something for $75 and you offer 50, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's like, it's a very, like I'm saying, if you don't want people,
anything Breville related, like Breville juicers, they always have it for like $70, $80. I offer them like 40 and they always say yes. Because nobody else is searching for Breville juicers.
Do you think that Marketplace should be seen as a platform that's more of a yard sale or more of a eBay equivalent at those prices?
Yes.
Both? Are you saying yes because of both?
Yes.
Okay, you got to differentiate between the two at some point in time. So I'm going to guess you're like me. You think that if you're selling it local, it should be more of a yard sale type pickup. If you're shipping it, it should be more of an eBay equivalent competitive platform, right?
That's why you have the option when you list. Local only, ship, or both, yeah.
So how do you handle local? If you list local only, do you list it as at a lower rate, yard sale prices, or do you list it at the same thing you listed it on eBay? You just, because there's shipping. We're going to get into shipping in just a second. Their shipping's handled differently than eBay. Say it's a big set of golf clubs, right? Could be $16, but on eBay, you know, it really only is $9 or $10, right? So how do you handle how do you ship something heavy like that on Facebook Marketplace? Would you do it just locally only, no shipping option? Or what would you do if you gave a shipping option?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I found a really, really cool vintage desk chair at Goodwill the other day for I paid $11 for it. I mean, this thing's dope. It's got like a cast iron base, it's leather, it's got the arms, it's like a swivel. I mean, I looked them up. I sent it to my in-laws because they're pretty savvy on like furniture, and they were like, oh, $250 to $300 easy. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, like for something like that, I'm going local only, but I'm also like, I got it for $11. If someone offers me $175 tomorrow, it's out the door. Like I don't want a big desk chair sitting in my garage for the next 2 months.
Right.
Yeah.
So I always take into consideration that it's like if a friend comes over and they want to buy a pair of shoes from me, like out of my garage. Just it's only happened a couple of times, but it's like I take into consideration on eBay if you add shipping,
you got store hours for your garage.
No, I should no, but like on eBay, if they bought it from me, it's like there'd be shipping. They'd end up paying $36 for a pair of shoes that I have listed for $25. But if they come to my house, I'm like, give me $20. I don't have to ship them. I don't have to put in any time. You're going to leave with them tonight, and there's no fees. There's none of that. Yeah. So, yeah, I always take into consideration, like, selling stuff locally, you can't think about it quite the same as, like, selling something online. It's not the same.
Let me take a second real quick, if I could. Sorry. I want to interrupt and say hello to Landshark Picker. Thanks for coming out tonight. I think you may be a first-time visitor here, and thanks so much for clicking and coming and joining in the show. Vintage Mentality. I don't know that I know that name either, but I appreciate you coming out as well. Paul, did you have something to add or rebut?
For me, the threshold is if I'm selling at a price and somebody offers me 25% or like 20% lower locally, I would say yes, because that takes away the fees, the shipping, the hassle, cash in hand, all that stuff. I would do it. But like, I also am a part of a bunch of local groups. Like, I don't know how you guys have where you are, but like I have like a local group to where I live, city next door to me, a local yard sale group to my county, to Philadelphia, everything.
Right.
But I have I'm in like 20 of those groups. So if I'm selling something local only, like I'm selling a couch, I'm going to list it on the marketplace and list it on those groups as well, so they see it. If I'm selling it for local and shipping, I don't list it on those groups, because the people on the groups love to police you and say, how dare you list this lawn chair for $90 or something, because they're used to seeing lawn chairs at yard sales for $5-10, but you know that the value of them is 90. So if I'm listing it for local and shipping, it just goes to the marketplace. I don't list it in any local group. But if I'm listing it for local only, I list it in all the groups as well.
That is absolutely brilliant. That's a great point, and I came across the same exact thing for the exact same reason. Because I would always, no matter how I listed it, whether it be local or shipping, and I would check every local group I was part of, and then I'd get these, what, you're never gonna get $75 for that. And so I just quit showing them. I was like, somebody wants it. It may not be you, but somebody wants it. Wyatt, same feelings on that topic?
Yeah, same feelings. And you know, I think somebody early on, like in this when this started, someone said something about shipping and like asked about maybe marking it as sold. I don't know. What I was going to say was like, where I live, it's like to do a local deal for me as a seller is frustrating, because I almost always will have to drive and meet up, and I just don't have the time for all that. So like I list everything only. Every listing that I have is shipping only. And I still every now and then have somebody somehow locally find the listing and reach out to me. I had a dude do this the other day and bought some golf clubs from me, but it's like I listed it as shipping only. So
coincidence. It just had to be a coincidence.
It's glitchy, man. It's glitchy.
That I want to say thank you to Carissa for sponsoring, for buying a coffee. I do appreciate that.
Oh, that's what that was. That's what that was.
Oh, thank you, Carissa. That was awesome.
It's International Coffee Day, by the way, today, guys. So happy Coffee Day to everybody.
Well, is everybody giving away free coffee? And I missed it?
I got this for free. Yeah.
Nice.
To respond to Wyatt, my warehouse is right next door to BJ's, like a Sam's Club, like legit next door, like walking distance. So I always do meetups there, and it's a 1-minute drive. So for me, it's never an issue. Yeah, for sure. I had people like come in, like I sold like a Blondie cassette for $8 on Facebook, and somebody offered to come up and pay for that, like instead of me shipping it to her. She drove like 20 minutes to save $3.45 on shipping costs to get the cassette. I'm like, hey, if you want to pay me for me, whatever. But,
for an $8 cassette tape?
Yeah.
Maybe she had some errands to run in that area anyway, right?
I don't know. Yeah. It's like,
just, don't let your head get too big that she was just doing it just to trip to see you. Okay, Paul?
Just to see me. That's what it was, man.
All right. Evans asks, do you guys hide listings from friends when you list on Facebook Marketplace?
No,
I don't.
What I've seen with that is, if your friends are part of the same group as you, then they get notified. Like, for example, like I live in media. So if I list to something in the media yard sale group and my friends are part of that group, then they get the notification on their news feed. But anything I list to my marketplace, none of them ever see that. So I don't see a reason to hide it from your friends.
I will admit that I do, because I was under the impression, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong about this, if I posted a listing, it would then show up on my feed, which would then turn around and show up on all my friends' news feed.
No.
Is that wrong?
Yeah. Only way that's going to happen is when you go to publish it, it'll ask you if you want to share it to your timeline.
Yeah.
You just don't. If you don't share it to your timeline, it won't. It just really means that, I think people that would do it just wouldn't want like their buddies or like their peers being like, I don't know.
Seeing
I don't
that
know
they're
why it matters.
trying to resell the Christmas presents that they got last month.
Yeah, that's work.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's a good reason to hide from your friends. Right?
that's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I like
You don't want your mom or your dad or your sister to see that
Oh,
you're
wait
actually
a
trying
minute.
to resell a
Oh,
Christmas gift you just got from them, right?
that's really funny.
All right. Heidi's got a question. We may have covered this already. Do any of you have Facebook Market business accounts or reseller IDs? Yeah, Paul, you do. You said you did, right? Both a
Yes.
personal and a business account. Wyatt, do you have a business account? I don't know that we touched
Not
on
with
that.
Facebook. I just do it. Well, again, I have to do it through my wife's Facebook. So
Mhm.
everything comes from somebody named Jenna Sippy. So it's like most of the time, yeah. I mean, but no, I don't.
I
have
bet you they're real surprised when a guy with a beard shows up and it ain't Jenna.
Oh yeah, well, and we both met. Like I message on it, so it's like
Yeah.
I have to message as her. So like sometimes I'll accidentally send a male emoji, and then realize like, oh,
All right.
I always do that.
So why not just open your own Facebook account? Did you talk about that?
Yeah, it won't. I mean, I have Facebook, but I don't have the shipping option.
Okay,
It won't
I got
give
you.
it to me. I've tried.
Well-
I had that problem with the old girl that used to work for me because she used to list for me on eBay and then list on Facebook and get commission off it. So anytime she would list on Facebook and meet up, she'd be like, by the way, there's a guy meeting you driving a white Dodge Ram. Because they're always talking to a female the whole time, so she doesn't want to get them to get scared. So they're saying, hey, she'll say like my brother or something, even though she wasn't my sister, is like meeting you, and that's how we always get around it, so that no one would see like a 6'6" guy coming to them with a dresser and be terrified for their life.
Yeah, I would have to be honest. If I was making a local deal with you, Paul, and I saw you walking up towards me, I would stay in my truck until I knew for sure I was safe. All right. So let's talk about return. He's taller than 6'6". He's 7'18" or something like that.
I played college
I don't
basketball, so I mean, I'm used to tall people, but I mean, a 6'6" in everyday life is pretty tall.
So the
when I play basketball, people say I'm a waste of 6'6". They say he's big for nothing.
They're hating, man.
Just stand under the goal and let me throw it to you, Paul, and you just put it right in, right?
That's pretty much what I do. Yeah.
Let's talk returns. In my experience, there's been none. None. I've had 0 refund requests, 0 return requests. And granted, though, I've only been on it since Wyatt and I talked in January of this year. So it's been close to a year, about close to 9 months, right? 10 months, I should say. But what is your experience with returns? Wyatt, you go first.
So like I just handle them like I would handle an eBay return, but the difference is they don't have a return like thing set up in Facebook. But if someone comes out to me and they're like, hey, I bought these pair of shoes from you. I don't think you noticed, but this shoelace was this or that, whatever. I usually just say, hey, like, I usually, as a seller, I mean, I try to, if I can, sort of persuade them out of it by saying something like, hey, Facebook doesn't really have a great return policy. I'm willing to work with you. But if you're going to return it, like, I just ask that you ship it back. Like, I'm not paying for the return label, and I find a kind of a kind way to say that. And yeah, I've had a handful of returns, but it's not that hard. It's just it's not covered by anything. Like Facebook doesn't really know what happened. It's really just between me and the seller, so it kind of gets like. So
Facebook is totally hands off in the return process. I see a
maybe
refund
for personal,
button,
not for business. For business, they reach out and then there's like a whole. You have to agree to it or not, and then they return it, and Facebook pays the shipping, and they return it back to you. That's how it is through business. I don't know how it is for personal, but like I've had a couple where like I sold them some records that had some scratches on them, and they didn't like it, and they were like, "Hey, do you want this item back, or do you want to just refund it?" I just always chose refund, but there was one where like someone didn't like it and they just wanted to return, and Facebook covered their shipping to return an item back to me.
That may be the first great piece of evidence towards starting a business account that I've heard.
Well,
because
and you get customer support. That's another big reason. Is if you have to talk to a human being.
That's an excellent reason. Write this down. There's customer support somewhere. It exists because I've never seen Facebook customer support ever.
Yeah,
All right.
it's through email, and to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to to a person or not, but there's always like a big response, and there's like an apology first, and they're saying, "Hey, we're working on this issue. Here's your case number, blah blah blah. If you have any more questions, reach out to us in 24 hours if it doesn't get fixed." And then it says like sign whatever Jessica or whatever Facebook. So like that's the customer support you get through email, and I never had that before I had a business account. So
I got you. Carissa says, I skipped some items on what sold videos because of reselling gifts. Brilliant. Don't ever let them find out.
See, look, Tommy said
what is
there's
that?
a
TikTok?
live chat
They'll
for
never
business.
They'll
He
never
used
know.
yesterday.
They'll never know.
I don't know that other thing. See,
there's a live chat for business I use. Okay, so a live chat. Actually, I was fixing to talk about eBay for business, which is not the same thing. It just got me confused because it's on Facebook Messenger. So that's good. That's good. So step number one, Paul, you were trying to tell me the other day. So let's talk on how to start a business account, right? Just real quick. Let's touch on that.
Did that work for you? The link that I sent you? Or?
Okay. No. Okay. So you helped me create a page that I could, the thing is, I want to get into creating it, but I'll tell you this. I thought that it was a possibility that the reason why I couldn't post with shipping was because it was in the middle of setting up a business account, right? Like it hasn't completed yet or something like that. But so I deleted that page since I hadn't really gotten down the road with it. But then Wyatt, you said at the start of the show, you're experiencing that same thing. So it's got to be an app related scenario, not a profile or personal account related problem. So I'll go back and I'll create a new page. But Philly, to your point though, you said that you're the biggest advocate for creating a business account on Marketplace due to the extra perks you get when you do so, right?
Yeah, those perks and free shipping and no fees right now.
But you also state that it's more hands-on because if you list in both locations, it's like two different stores. They're not treated as a single entity. So you've got to babysit it more, right?
Correct.
And then Wyatt, you said that you only have one account. You've had no issues with returns. Everything's in one location. List perfectly, works the way it should. But you also don't have support if you needed it, right? So pros and cons for both sides of the house, guys. I personally, I am one on the idea of adventuring into the business account. I will Paul, grab that link that you shared with me, put it in the chat because I'm sure there are people here who would like to see that too. Yes, you have to do your homework and find it again. Oh, Kayla, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so glad that you did. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And Patrick Murphy has shown up. Thank you, sir. Patrick Murphy sent me to say hello and like that. Thumbs up. Yeah, go for it, guys. Let me go ahead and also add, if anyone in the chat has not subscribed to either of these two great guys, the link is in the description below. You must. It's like important. It's so important. You go click that subscribe button for both of them. Watch a video. Hit that thumbs up. Give them all the love that you possibly can because their videos are awesome. All of them. Even when Paul is going over all the awesome what was it, Highway 127 or something like that you spent. What was that long highway yard sale thing you did?
127.
We had like 88 videos from that one yard sale. So
I only had two so far, but I have a lot more in the making. Don't you worry, child.
Yeah, I think I saw you in other people's videos as well, didn't I?
Oh man,
probably.
All right.
Popular guy, Adam. Don't hate.
Okay, so Paul put socialmediaexaminer.com, a link on how to set up a shop section on your.
So that's
slow. You don't want to mess that.
That's after you make a business page, how to turn that into an actual store.
Okay,
that's how you do that.
Let's see what Tommy says. I don't think you get the business insights and run store sales and such with personal. Or did that change? Okay. People are agreeing with you, Tommy. Oh, that's you, Paul. Paul is agreeing with you, Tommy. So you got one
Does
vote.
that still count if I agree with you, or does my vote not count?
Maybe not. I don't know. Gino, hey buddy, thanks for showing up, my friend. I do appreciate it. So we've talked about returns.
Can I mention again the free shipping and no
Yeah.
fees?
Talk about that for a second.
Can we
Why
talk about
is that
free
just on the
shipping
business account?
and
How
no
long is that going to
fees?
last?
Mine says till end of October, but Tommy says until June of 2022.
What?
Well,
Yes.
how are they making money?
They're not. I think this is their way of saying, hey, we want to be a player in this game, and this is how we're going to introduce ourselves. So, for example, I sold an amp last week, a bass amp. It was 27 pounds, and Facebook covered that shipping to Kentucky.
God, that's wild.
And I sold it for 175, and I got 175.
Dang.
No fees are taken out of my account.
That is nuts.
So
Absolutely
that's a
nuts.
big reason why
that is. But okay, so did that just pop up on your seller page? Did you get it automatically? Did you have to opt into something in order to get that?
What, like I told you about how it gave us like, hey, if you want to sell these things on your business page, we're covering shipping and fees until so and so date.
So it just happened. Like you didn't have to opt in or click it or anything.
I just migrated my listings to my business page, and they did it. And then on top of that, then I can list things for more on my business page because people don't have to pay for shipping. For example, I sold a Wii U game for $35. I was listing for 30 plus shipping on eBay. I sold it for 35 on Facebook because they were not paying shipping. So I had more money in my pocket come in as well.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So why do you still list it on your personal page when you know that that's such a huge benefit on your business account?
Well, I list it on my personal page first. That's my listing. Then with one click of a button, it duplicates my listings to Facebook. So it takes like 2 seconds more.
Yeah, but my question is, why even take the time to list it on your personal page when you could get the fees and the shipping?
Because I still sell things on my personal page. Okay. That's why. Like yesterday, I sold 12 things on my business page and 3 on my personal page. I wouldn't have those 3 sales if I didn't list them on my personal first.
Drug dealers. Our supply is free, true. And then you get
up, Tracy. Word up.
Nice.
Tommy said they have FU money. They're just flexing.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, Facebook's a gazillionaire. I mean, Mark's probably fronting all the shipping anyway himself. Jules, I'm sorry. Did I misunderstand? If you have a personal Facebook and create a business account, if you list in the business account, will it still show up in your personal account, or can you filter to business only?
When you transfer your listings, they give you the option to migrate, which they just take all your listings from your personal to the business, or duplicate. So they'll have them on your personal and on your thing.
But you could choose to only do it on the business, only list on the business.
I can list just from a business account if I want to. Yeah, that is an option. But that's only giving you shipping only, no local at all for the business.
When you use the app, it treats it as 2 separate accounts, right? Like you have to change how you're logged into the app.
Yeah, but
is that true?
Click of a button, yeah. I can show you right now.
Well, I'm just making sure that it basically is treating you as 2 separate users.
Yeah. So at the top, it shows like my name right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I click on that, and I can choose my business page. And then it just switches over. So that's
okay. It's still simple.
Very simple.
And as long as you don't get confused, it doesn't seem like it's too confusing.
No.
All right. So I think everybody should do a little bit of homework. And if you're an active seller on the personal account, you should I would encourage you to look into this business account for all these great reasons that Paul and both Tommy have brought up in the chat. I've said this on my stream many times, but may be some here that don't know. Facebook is about to break ground on a 1.4 billion epicenter near Phoenix. They make money moves. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
they got the dough to do it. They got
like
the dough
if
to do
Facebook
it.
wants to compete with eBay, they can, and this is their way of saying that they do.
But
I think that's what it is.
Let's take a guess. Let's set our predictions now. How much longer do you think it would take for Facebook to overtake eBay? Paul?
It depends on many things.
Well, let's just make a prediction on this recorded show, and then when it happens, we'll come back and we'll see who was right.
March of 2023.
there's many things
So
like
just not even 2 years from now.
If they introduce like a GSP, it's going to be really quick. I think that's one big thing. If they can introduce like shipping through anywhere in the world and make it affordable, which they can, it's going to be a game changer. If they use their algorithm on what you're selling, which I think they already do, because a lot of my things look like they're just impulse buys. People are just searching through their Facebook and they're like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Let me buy that. Exactly. I don't think that they actually search for it, because if they did, they would find it cheaper on eBay or something, like very easily. Right. So like if a lot of things that they can implement to do faster, but I would say probably I wouldn't be surprised if like 4 years from now they're at the same level or not. Okay. But on my last month, I've sold more on Facebook than on eBay, which is crazy for me to say.
Are you listing the same products? Like everything you list on eBay, you also list products on Facebook?
I have 5,000 active listings on eBay and 1,000 active listings on Facebook.
And you're still selling more on Facebook?
Correct.
Okay.
That's wild.
So it sounds like you might be just picking and choosing some things that you think would sell better on Facebook.
Anything that I list right now on eBay, I listed onto Facebook at the end of the day. Everything I list during the day on eBay, it gets cross-listed to Facebook. Doesn't matter if it's clothes, shoes, cards, coffee makers, everything I post on there. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Right. Let's answer his question real quick. Vintage Mentality asks, do you need a tax number for the business account?
Yes, you do.
Didn't you use something when you set up for selling on a personal account too, though?
I'm pretty sure you do, because
I can't remember.
You're going to get a tax form regardless.
Yeah, once you hit 600, it just makes you like, basically.
It makes you fill out more banking information.
Yeah, but you don't have to have like an EIN or anything for that.
No, but a regular Joe's tax information includes your serial number. I mean, your social security number. Dude, I am an IT guy. I just a serial number, and you know that. So social security is your tax ID number, right? So,
yes.
Okay, so yeah, you definitely have to have some form of tax ID number. And then there was another question here that I think I missed. I'm sorry, guys. It's jumping on me really, really fast. Let's talk about for a second I wanted to get back to sourcing. And the reason why I wanted to get back to sourcing is, have you ever felt unsafe during a local pickup? That's kind of like going back to the old Craigslist days, right? It got that really bad vibe, and should you go alone? Should you do it at a police department? And when you source locally on Facebook, how do you do it? Do you worry about staying safe, or do you just say, yeah, sure, I'll come to your house, whatever?
I'm not crazy about going to somebody's house. And I feel like,
same.
I don't know, like I'll let people come pick stuff up from my house, because I live in like a cul-de-sac and there's like a circle of houses around me, and it's kind of like what's going to happen. But like to go pick something up, I'd rather go meet somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I try to meet like in a grocery store parking lot, or like in a school parking lot or something like that.
So you're okay if they come to your house to rob you, but
I know that's weird, but I mean, I also monitor it case by case. Like if it's golf clubs and I can fit it in my car, and someone lives 45 minutes away and they want to meet halfway, all right, I might do that. But if it's like a dresser or something, like, you can come get it. I'm not gonna go put it in my car. I don't have room for it. So yeah.
Paul, how about you? If I'm not mistaken, your local pickup designated location is just like in the parking lot outside your warehouse, right?
Right next door. Well, it's BJ's, the store, which is the same building as I am. Yeah. But that's like if I'm selling it. But if I'm sourcing, I have to like meet up where the seller wants me to meet up, because the seller's in control if I'm sourcing. So,
but I'm sure you've got limitations. Like if they say come to my house, you would take that opportunity.
I have to search where the house is. If they say, hey, come to my house in Chester, which is like a really highly populated crime area, I'll say no, I don't want that GameCube. I want to live, so like I want to take that chance.
Tell you what, could we meet here instead?
I want to live.
Okay, have you ever been going somewhere and then you're like, I made the wrong decision to meet here? I was driving up on a house one time that I looked on the map and I thought was fine. And then it was a little bit further down the road than I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? Kind of to your point, Paul. So I always choose a designated location, and because of where I work in Columbus, I always choose the Chuck E. Cheese. I just feel like
Chuck
it
E.
is.
Cheese.
Yeah, because it's a big parking lot. There's kids around.
Where
Nobody's
a kid
gonna.
can be a kid, right?
Lots of witnesses, and
Oh, man.
without a doubt, you're going to find a cop at least at any point in time during the day who's just wasting time parking in that parking lot because it's a busy intersection. So I just feel safe at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, that's the other thing. In my neighborhood, we have 4 cops in this one subdivision. So it's kind of like, sure.
Yeah.
Try to rob me. See what happens.
Makes you feel safe.
I did not know they were in business until you just said that. I really thought like Chuck E. Cheese was out of business, out of commission.
I was laughing at Paul's like response. He was like, Chuck E. Cheese. Like, they're still open. Let's go. Let's go get some.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, they're
what?
still open. Well, you want to go buy some coins and win some tickets right now? I mean, seriously.
I love
Next
Chuck E. Cheese.
reseller rally is going to be at a Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, that's like what Dave and Buster's is, right? I love Dave and Buster's. It's like Chuck E. Cheese for adults.
Yeah. I totally wanted to have my 40th birthday at Chuck E. Cheese, but everybody was shutting down. Chuck E. Cheese wasn't open. Okay, Jake, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. I seem to be missing a lot here. Can we start from the beginning?
Yep,
okay,
so definitely rewatch, Jake.
I'll introduce you to Wyatt and Paul, and there's your summary. All right.
There it is.
Jules,
I'm still looking, Tommy.
I'm an old lady. I can have people come to my place because I have gated community. But if it sounds sketchy, I'll try to meet them or have someone here with me. Absolutely.
There's a lot of people that do like porch pickups in my area where they're like, hey, leave the money in my mailbox and just pick the item up.
Right. Everybody but you still got to go to their house.
Yeah, but then I'm at home, so it makes me feel a lot safer when that happens.
What are you looking for Tommy? I missed that. Trace it between
Tommy, a little higher up, said that there's a settings option where you can choose where I can sell things globally with my own shipping thing.
Really? Globally on your Facebook
in the business settings,
account?
you can select global shipping preference and do free labels for domestic, and then use your own label for like Guatemala or something like that. So he said,
"Wow, that's cool."
Right now, that's a game changer. And then Tracy, instead of me saying,
that is funny.
Paul said they took all the tubes out of his Chuck E. Cheese because he got stuck in them too many times. Yeah, they didn't want to call the fire and rescue on Tommy anymore for getting stuck in the slide tubes. Awesome. Anything else on the topics of Facebook? Luckily, we've gone through my very long list that I had prepped for this conversation.
A long list.
And I have loved every second of it.
Can I get one more tip before we close?
Absolutely.
So a lot of people have issues with Facebook where you have 0 views or like 1 view or 2 view, and then something similar to it gets 200, 300, and that thing sells. Yeah. And then instead of changing anything up, they just relist it, hoping something happens. What I learned is that if you have no views on your listing, I take it down and you just change the words around. So if I'm selling like a Nike shoe or Jordan shoe, I just change it to say like Nike first or Jordan first or color first or whatever. Change it completely around, and that goes completely different to the Facebook algorithm, and they push it out completely different.
Makes
so people who say they get like no views on an item and they think it's a good item, just delist it, take it down, change the words around, and put it back up, and it always works for me.
Yeah,
that's a brilliant piece of advice there. If it's not working the first time, make a change and see if that'll help push it through. Do either of you promote listings on eBay?
Yes.
Okay, we got a yes and we got a no. Okay, that's good. I like that. Do either of you pay for Facebook Boost or
No.
something like that, whatever they call it? Okay.
I did when I had my business on there. When I had my moving company, I paid for Facebook ads on it, and it was very, very successful. So if it's the same infrastructure that they use for this, I can see why it would be good.
Do you think that it's more beneficial that the eBay promotions is more successful, obviously, than because you don't do it? You think it's more successful than Facebook's boost? I'm assuming that's accurate.
What I like about eBay's promotions is you don't get paid unless the item sells. With the Facebook boosts, you can pay $2 to boost that item, and you don't have a guarantee for a sale for that item to sell.
Okay.
With eBay, they take a percentage of your sale when the item sells, unless you do the new eBay pay for click thing, which I haven't tried, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I have one more. I have a tip also, like if you want me to go ahead.
What's up, Dante? Thanks for joining us tonight, my friend. Absolutely. Wyatt, jump in. Go for it.
Well, when I first got started, and I said this in my videos too, like I was all about the prepaid shipping label through Facebook. I thought it was great. And it was, because it's easy. Like it just auto populates the thing for you. And it was great. And the prices were pretty like accurate. But I have recently noticed in about the last 3 weeks that they upped everything. So now this is crazy. But now, and I'm talking primarily with shoes, because that's the thing I sell the most on Facebook. All right, you take a women's running shoe. It's gonna after you box it up and everything, it's gonna weigh like a pound and like 8 ounces. Let's just say. So that 1 to 2 pound prepaid label used to be $8, and then it went to $9. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That's pretty much what it costs. Now it's like they've upped the prices, and I've realized that it's ridiculous, like to do that, because it's costing the buyer more, but it's also like, if I just do my own label and I set my shipping rate at, let's just say $10 for all shoes,
right?
And I know it's going to cost me like $8.50 to ship it, then I'm always going to make about an extra $1 or so on each sale.
But is that a recent change? I haven't noticed that change yet.
Mine's still 9. So like I said, mine went up.
Mine went up. Not only did mine go up, but for some reason it's got a USPS price as way more than like a UPS. So like the UPS rate is like $11.
It is.
And now the USPS is like $13.50 for a pair of shoes. I'm like,
what?
I know for a fact I can ship you for $9. So like I'm just doing $10.
Mine's still 9, thankfully.
That's crazy.
Which is another problem is that
go ahead.
It could be like that for yours, and then for me it's still 9, and for somebody else it's like 8. Somebody else it's nothing that Facebook needs to figure out and just make it the same for everybody.
It is. It's glitchy, and when they do updates, it's like it doesn't update for everyone all at once. It's very spaced out.
You remember me talking about my world just getting like exploded from something you said? I had no idea that the shipping costs would be different for different people for different reasons. Like mine's 9.
I think they're trying to keep up with like the real cost, but it's like it doesn't always make sense. I mean, right now I'm just putting $10, and I'm like I'm making like an extra $1.
This is on Facebook you're talking about, right? Not eBay.
Yeah, I'm talking about Facebook.
Okay, yeah. I just want. I'm
talking about the prepaid labels. They were easy because as soon as someone bought something, all you did was click print label and it made it for you. But now I'm like, well, geez, if I list a pair of shoes at $25, but the shipping says 13 something, the buyer is going to end up paying like almost, $38 for something that was like, really is only going to cost like $9 to ship. So
I'm sitting here trying to list something to get a working example while we're live. I choose 1 to 2 pounds. It wants to default to UPS ground, which is $8.94. But I always ship shoes in the USPS free priority boxes. Yeah. So I change it to priority mail, and it says $9. Yeah, but you're telling me if you do the exact same thing, it's $13.50?
Yeah, it's like it up the charges. Wow. And so it's like, I guess you just expect
for me, it's crazy. It's even cheaper. Like for me, media mail is still $2.89 on Facebook, and it's $3.09 everywhere else. So for me, the Facebook label is still cheaper than anything. But I get it. It's completely gets different to everybody that uses it. I don't.
Yeah.
Is there a platform that you prefer Facebook over?
What do you mean?
Well, I
prefer Facebook over Mercari. I could list the same thing for the same price. It's got better shipping options. In my opinion, it's easier to list. It's going to get more eyes on it because Facebook's got billions of users.
Yeah.
So I prefer Facebook over Mercari. Do you prefer Facebook over another platform for any reason?
Right now, it's like 1A for me. So I prefer to almost anyone over eBay right now.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So okay, so agreed. I like if I were to not be able to cross list everywhere, Mercari is the last thing I go to.
Also to mention, it takes like 3 seconds to cross list to Facebook. It's legit.
Yeah.
Copy and paste title, put in the price, and that's it.
Easy.
I don't feel the description, the categories. I don't feel any of that.
Why don't you fill out the
title.
description?
Why
Don't you
would I
put?
fill out the description?
Well, because the title has a limited number of characters.
It's the same as eBay. It's the same amount. So I just copy and paste a title. That's all I need. Now, if there's like a flaw or something, I add a description. But usually, I just copy and paste a title and that's it.
Okay.
My description is always empty.
I for some reason I feel like I get more in an eBay title than I do on a Facebook title, but
no, I just legit copy. Like I go from my phone, just copy and paste it. That's all it is.
okay.
I used to like do the whole brand and size and all that, and I haven't seen any more sales with me putting that information in. So I just do the basic.
Is there a top rated seller on Facebook, and that could be a difference in the shipping label cost? Not that I'm aware of.
I've never seen of any tiers.
Like I have 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 5 stars. I've shipped over 500 things. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
I think that's a downside for you. Like, I would be very disinclined to order from you, Wyatt, if I could find it from Paul, right?
Yeah.
Not because he's got his free shipping business account. But even if it was on his personal account and it says $9 shipping for him and $13.50 shipping for you.
Exactly.
Oh man.
That's why I'm just doing now.
You got to do some research and figure out what's going on, man.
I'm just doing my own labels and setting it at $10. And then I just go to Pirate Ship and just make a label like I would on eBay.
There you go. Flat rate shipping, $10.
The only problem is
free shipping on Facebook.
If you do your own like shipping label, is it won't become free when you do a business account. That's the only problem. Because I had some waste that I was putting in a flat rate box, and when I switched those weights into my business account, the shipping wasn't free because I was using my own shipping label for it. So Facebook doesn't cover that. That's the only issue. Yeah.
Well, back to Jules's question. Not to confuse Facebook with eBay. I'm not aware that Facebook has a top rated seller status or anything like that. But on eBay, you get shipping discounts based on your top rated seller status.
Yeah.
And
that could all change in the future. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. They could have different tiers and below rated and top rated and all that.
Exactly.
What's up, Roman? Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Appreciate you. He says next week your shipping's going to go higher.
Yeah, it's October.
Oh, yeah. October starts. United States Postal Services prices go up. Yeah. It's possible maybe we're all about to see the $13.50 because of that. You just got it ahead of time, Wyatt.
I don't want to hear that.
Could be. You never know. We'll find out in 2 days? Maybe because you got so many listings. No, because I've only got like 50 something listings.
Yeah.
Tommy, maybe the personal account got raised shipping. Mine is 9, 12, and 20.
That's mine as well.
That's mine as well, and I'm on a personal account.
Now, Adam, can you ship with something that's over 20, or do you not have that option?
Yes, I can, and it says then, okay, fill in your dimensions and weight.
Dimensions? Mine just says weight.
I could be mistaken.
It should just say weight.
Let me.
Super easy.
I've got an open one right here. Let's see what it says. I'm just gonna randomly choose. Why did I?
And then it should give you like a UPS ground, which is pretty affordable.
Okay, No, right now it's not giving it to me because I'm in a draft, I guess. So, but I'd have to start over. Oh, there we go. Shipping label. Okay, my top option is 10 to 50 pounds.
Yeah,
and then it says pounds and ounces. Estimate weight, but I know if I'm going to ship something that heavy, I'm going to use UPS. UPS rounds to the highest next pound. Anyway, guys, if you didn't know that, that's a good tip for if you have to estimate shipping, you go ahead and round up, because guess what? UPS does it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it doesn't ask for dimensions. It just asks for pounds and ounces.
Which is a lot easier than eBay, because eBay you would need like the height, and then also you can ship awkward boxes with Facebook, because it doesn't matter if they just ask for weight. It doesn't matter what the box that thing goes into.
Right.
So I shipped like a dinosaur like lawn ornament that I shipped with Facebook that was $26 shipping. The same shipping with UPS on eBay was $44.
I'm with you.
Because the box was so awkward.
Yeah.
Facebook does. I don't know if they eat that. Like Tommy says, they have a lot of money. They don't care, or they have a special deal with UPS or something. But
I think it's that second thing. Mercari's a similar fashion. I tested that one time. If you do not have to put in dimensions on Mercari, and you can still choose their default, based on weight, their default shipping rates.
Yeah.
If you put in the dimensions, though, it'll go up in price significantly too. But then if you just go back to 000 it all out, it goes back. I tried that. I can't remember what it was. I think it was just a large like Imaginext toy or something like that. They wanted like $45 in shipping when I put the exact dimensions in, but when I just put the weight in, it was closer to like $17 in shipping. So Victoria asked, does Paul get better shipping rates because of his business account versus personal account? No.
As of now, yes, because it's free. But after
not in general. I've got a personal account. I get the same
4
same numbers
sales
as Paul.
during this show on Facebook, by the way.
Look at you, man. Look at you.
Stupid things too. I sold a card. I sold a drill. I sold a drill bit. And I sold a plush toy.
A drill bit? Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a dollar buy?
Bosch Bulldog. It was like a $4 for a dollar buy.
Flippy says Facebook and Mercari are the best way to go when shipping and selling golf bags, and that you can take to the bank because of that whole weight and not the dimensions option.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Donna's Diamonds. Hey, thanks for coming out tonight. I do appreciate it, Donna.
What's going on, Donna?
Let's see what Tommy says about they have a special deal. UPS cuts major volume deals. Amazon also gets costs. Almost gets costs. As an employee, it cost me like 4 times Amazon's price with my employee discount.
Yeah, and Tommy used to work for UPS. So
Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense that they would get volume deals like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Man, that has been a blast. I think we need to wrap this up. I have been completely open-minded to the idea of opening a Facebook business account. Wyatt, you do the same. We'll share our experiences with you on Instagram. Yeah. Again, if none of you are subscribed, if any of you are not subscribed, I should say, to either of these guys on YouTube, make sure to go to the link in the description below and do that. But they are also on Instagram. Follow them over there and follow them there as well. Wyatt, thanks for joining us tonight. I do appreciate it. Paul, the same for you. Taking the time out of your evening.
A business account, I get 10% of your sales for convincing you to open a business account, right? Is that how it works?
Well, first you got to fill out a very long form, but if you don't fill out the form, no, he doesn't get any of it.
Just give me the form info. I'll even take 5%.
Especially
if it's from Wyatt. He has like 1,000 Scotty putters in his garage. I know, so it's going to be. If I'll take 5% of Wyatt's money.
Yeah. So ghosting on Facebook is the worst thing in the world. We touched on that earlier. I found a Scotty Cameron putter locally. He only wanted $50. I told him I'll pay him. I told him I'd meet you at the fire department right now. Never heard back from him, and then it was gone.
Oh,
completely pulled.
That's happens way more often than you want to admit. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. I hope y'all had a good time. Y'all have a great night. Y'all stay safe out there and have fun picking. Peace. Y'all have a good night. Bye, everybody.